Hi book babes, my name is Ainsley and welcome to my library. For today's video, if you guys have been here for a while, then you guys have met my beloved Atlas. Say hi. Say hi, baby. Today, or actually I guess since this video is going up on the 2nd, yesterday was Bub's birthday. He turned 2. To honor this guy and his special day, starting the terrible 2s, I am going to be giving you guys some recommendations where the books have phenomenal dog characters. And not that the dog is a side character, but that this dog character plays a significant role in the book. Whether they start the love story or they are just a great addition to the character, they are just not a normal, oh, my family has a dog kind of character. They actually are a significant role in the plot. And so today I'm going to be giving you guys 4 book recommendations that have dogs that are really just integral to the plot. Before we get started, I want to share you guys a little bit of Atlas's story. He's a Cavapoo, so he is half Cavalier King's, wait, what? Half Cavalier King's, half Poodle, and normally he's a lot more fluffy, but I just got him groomed. We're about to go deep, so be prepared to go deep. November 2 years ago, my parents sat me down, and my mom has been fighting ovarian cancer for the past couple years, and they told me November 2021 that my mom would be on borrowed time starting that January. Her cancer was winning and we weren't sure how much longer we were going to have with my mom. And so during that time of my life, it was very, very difficult. It was very, very clear that I needed some extra support. I didn't want to go through this trouble alone. I didn't want to go through this season alone. Obviously, we're never alone with Jesus. He is our sole comforter, sole provider, all of that. Amazing, glorious things, but I just needed a little extra support. I needed somebody to wholeheartedly love me and guide me through that. And so I ended up getting Atlas, and he has just been the biggest blessing of my life. He's laying on my lap right now, and the camera doesn't get it, but this is our current setup. He kind of just lays here. I totally just bypassed this. My mom is still alive. God performed a miracle in my family, and he's allowing my mom to live it's almost been 2 years since she was on borrowed time, and she's still here. She's still kicking it. She's still worshiping the Lord, and it is just a beautiful thing to see, a beautiful thing to experience. So if you guys are unsure that God is creating miracles, let me tell you this right now. God is performing miracles every single day. Because of how much just wonderful love Atlas has given me, I want to share with you guys some books that have made me feel the way that Atlas makes me feel during reading, and I just really wanted to share that. And I'm going to start with my favorite book ever, I think. The Match by Sarah Adams. This book is just adorable, and as you can see on the cover, we have Charlie, and he is a super cute and well-trained little boy. He's a golden retriever, and he is literally just so cute. He makes this book what it is, I promise you. In this book, we follow Evie, and Evie suffers from epilepsy. So she has seizures pretty occasionally. And so because of that, she has a service dog named Charlie, and he is her provider. He kind of just looks out for her and alerts her whenever she's going into a seizure and gets the environment prepared for her for whenever she is going to have a seizure. And so because of how loved Charlie makes Evie's life, Evie is a service dog pairer. And so what that means is she works for a company, and her sole position is matching people who are in need of a service dog to the service dog that best connects with them. And so through this, Evie ends up meeting Jake, and Jake is a single dad to a little girl, and that little girl is also suffering from seizures. And she has specifically asked her dad, hey, I would like to look into a service animal. And Jake ends up contacting with Evie, and they are just basically coming together and trying to find the best connection for his daughter. And it is just this beautiful romance story. We get to learn a little bit more about epilepsy. This book was just such a perfect representation for it. I think it raised a lot of awareness for it in a very encouraging way. I'm not going to share anything about the possible dog that the little girl gets. You guys have to read the book and figure that out for yourself. But there are 2 beautiful golden retriever pups that are highlighted in this novel, and it is just such a beautiful story of facing your fears, finding love, asking for help and receiving it, and it is just beautiful. I read it in a day. It's very, very rare that books make me physically feel butterflies, but oh my gosh, I physically felt the butterflies in this book and it was so good. And like I said, Charlie is the cutest dog I've ever read about. So, of all the dogs I'm going to mention in today's video, Charlie is my top choice. So, yeah. And I think the way that Charlie comforts Evie is the way that Atlas comforts me, even though he literally ran away. Where are you? He's just laying across the room right now. But, yeah, so if you were looking for a book that has a dog, I recommend starting with The Match by Sarah Adams because it is so good. I really hope that this line of lighting isn't bothering you guys like it's bothering me, so I am just sorry about that. The next book we have today is The Happy Ever After, that's awful, The Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. If you guys are going to read this book, I strongly encourage you guys to read The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez first, just because it adds more depth and rawness to Sloane's backstory. I think it's very, very important that in order to fully understand and love Sloane in this book, you need to read The Friend Zone, where you get to learn more of her background and her history. That just, again, allows you to fall in love with Sloane so deeply in this book. So, why is this book on the list? As you can see, there's a dog here, and that is because Tucker, the dog, is the reason that Jason and Sloane have a romance novel. Okay? So, let me set the scene for you. Sloane is literally driving one day. She's just driving down the road. Tucker, the dog, jumps in the car, and Sloane's like, okay, I have a dog now. So Sloane, being the dog lover that she is, decides to take Tucker in as her own. And she is texting Jason, Tucker's rightful owner, saying, hey, come get him, whatever you want. And Jason finally responds to her after 2 weeks and is like, hey, I want my dog back. And Sloane's like, no, you're not getting your dog back. So there's kind of like an enemies situation because Sloane has Jason's dog, but also Tucker's kind of rightfully hers at this point. But so anyway, as we know, Sloane and Jason start madly falling in love, and it is just this beautiful, beautiful story of them falling in love, and it is all because of a dog. And can I just say, of every single meet cute moment I've ever had, no wait, I've never had a meet cute moment. I would love a meet cute moment though. But out of all the meet cutes I've ever read, I would love for mine to be with a dog. Are you kidding? My future husband's dog is the reason I meet my future husband. That is just amazing. So this book is awesome. Tucker is literally just the cutest and funniest little pup you've ever read about. He is so, so good and well trained, and he loves both of his owners. So I recommend reading the Happy Ever After playlist. But again, I will say this again, please read The Friend Zone first. You do not have to, but you will understand so much more of Sloane if you read The Friend Zone first. The next book we are going to be highlighting in this book is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I'm so sorry for the lighting. Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. And in this book, it is literally, this is my favorite Colleen Hoover book ever. I know some of y'all are probably going to be in the comments and being like, I hate Colleen Hoover. That's fine. Do whatever you want. Personally, I love this book. It is just so, so good. So the dog that is in this book is called Pepper Jack Cheese. How cute! PJC! Literally the cutest dog ever. Oh my gosh, I love that name. While you're reading this book, it's kind of easy to forget that there's a dog in the mix of the book, simply because in this book, it's mainly about the relationship that Bea and Pepper Jack Cheese have and just how cute that is. Bea, the main character, she comes from a super, super bad home life. Her mom is a drug addict and ends up dying, and so Bea is kind of just struggling. She's evicted from her house. She doesn't know where to go, so she decides to go live with her rich father in a different town. And so while she's there, she meets this boy named Samson, and because of how hard Bea's childhood has been, she's a very, very guarded person. She doesn't really let anybody in. She doesn't love easily. So with Pepper Jack Cheese, this dog, she sees so much of herself in PJC that she immediately is taken to the dog and just has this phenomenal relationship with her. It's like with Atlas, for instance, I can take him outside off leash and he completely listens to every single command I have. My parents, if they were to take him outside off leash, he would probably run around crazy because Atlas and I have that connection. We have that relationship to where he knows that if I say don't go on the road, he shouldn't go on the road. Whereas like if my parents were to say, don't go on the road, he'd just keep going. And that's because we have established that trust and that connection. And the same thing is with Pepper Jack Cheese and Bea. They just get each other. They understand that they both have had really, really unfair lives. The deck has been completely stacked against each other, and they just love each other through it. And I think that the addition to Pepper Jack Cheese in this book really added to Bea's character, and it was a crucial point in Bea's character development. That is why this book is on this list, because Pepper Jack Cheese literally created Bea to be the wonderful woman that we're reading at the end of the book. So if you want to read a book that has phenomenal character growth, that just has such a heartwarming story where you get to grow some heart bones and you get to fall in love with Samson, Bea, and Pepper Jack Cheese, I strongly recommend this book. But I will say you should read it in the summer because it is a summery book. I read it in February and all I wanted to do was go to the beach. So strongly recommend saving this one till summer, but it is just a beautiful love story nonetheless. Last but not least, we have Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. This is the first book in the Avalon Bay series, and the dog that we have in this book is Little Miss Daisy. Daisy is highlighted in this book, in Bad Girl Reputation, and The Summer Girl, which are the second and third book in the Avalon Bay series. So if you want to read this book and you fall in love with Daisy, she is still highlighted in the remainder of the series. So I recommend you guys keeping up with the series if you love Daisy. But similarly to Heartbones and Pepper Jack Cheese and Bea, Daisy is just such a prominent figure in Mac and Cooper's relationship. I truly think that the addition of Daisy just really showed the love that Mac and Cooper have for each other. I think it was just a beautiful piece of symbolism and a beautiful piece of parallelism in this book. I really think that the love that Mac and Cooper have for each other, they weren't able to express as easily at the beginning of the book. And so as soon as Daisy entered the picture, they were able to show one another how they love with the dog, and that just allowed them to further grow their relationship. So I just think Daisy does play a big part of this book. She's super light, she's super fun. A lot of the beautiful scenes that we have with Mac and Cooper are simply because they're walking Daisy on the beach, and it is just so much love and joy whenever Daisy enters the picture. We are just taken on such a beautiful shedding of armor. Cooper is a very, very armed male lead, and I think that's totally okay. Again, he had a pretty difficult life, similarly to Bea's and Heartbones. So I just think that dogs are literally the best way for us to shed our just like walls. Like, they break our walls down similarly to how Jesus does, and it is just amazing. So if you guys want to read a fun summery series with a super cute dog, I recommend this book and the Avalon Bay series in its entirety. Well guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you guys will help me wish Atlas a happy birthday in the comments, because he's 2 years old! You're 2! The Terrible 2 started a couple months ago. But if you guys have read any books with phenomenal dog characters, please comment down below. I think that is one of my favorite tropes, is whenever a dog plays a pretty big role in any book. It's amazing. I have makeup on, you smell it? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would love more videos like this, please like and subscribe, and comment down below any other tropes that I can kind of pull together and just give you guys a bundle of recommendations based off of that trope. Well, I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye!